Yeah, it's your boy Danny J. Quick, and I'm here with Kyron Silva. And we want to thank you for joining the Four Tales podcast.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie deal level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the person. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales.
Kyron,
Yeah, what's up?
you're supposed to be doing something.
Oh, I thought you are the one in control now.
Nope.
No, you.
No, sir.
you-
Not at all.
So this
I
is
was
not
in
your
control.
show. No?
I was in control for 45 minutes. That's it.
You're not even gonna do an intro or nothing. It's
I'm
all
retired. I'm retired from hosting podcasts.
okay. All right. Okay, fine. Be that way.
Back to you, sir.
Back to me. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics, in collaboration with Fourth Wall Production, respectfully brings to you the 172nd episode of the Four Tales podcast. I'm your host, Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics, the girthy writer and creator of Starcore. Across the way is the plum poet of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick. Together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on the Ages of Geekdom Network via Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. So if you're listening and watching us live, thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews and interactions help us reach a bigger audience. Daryl Murphy in the chat from Baltimore.
He is in Baltimore right now, all the way
Seriously.
from Baltimore, chatting with us. Appreciate you, bro. Baltimore Comic Con this weekend.
Yeah.
Shout out to Daryl Murphy and shout out to SC Comics on TikTok, man. We appreciate y'all jumping in with us.
Nice. You recently went to an event last week, right?
Yeah, I had 3 events in a row. 3 weekends, 3 events in a row. And okay. I'm glad to be not going to an event this week. We did a small show, then a medium-sized show, then another small show. And we had a good time. So
how'd you do?
We met some cool people.
Okay.
We met some cool people. I got to meet some cool people that I've met on the internet only previously before. So I think that was pretty cool.
That is a great feeling, right? You know, just finally meeting someone that you've only communicated with via text messages, basically. That's all instant message is, just another text. But to finally meet somebody in real life is great.
Absolutely. I wish I could, get out more often and do it, honestly, but full-time job, 4 kids, wife, Ace Blade, so.
Okay. Jay Slade 94 says hello, here to show some love. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Daryl Murphy says he's tired. I understand. We met Daryl at Heroes Con, right?
Daryl was, he came through that one day.
Yeah. Our guest was there too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Marvin Wynn was in the building. And the whole Comicsburg crew. How many times has Marvin been on the show? This is the 3rd time? Are you still keeping track?
I haven't updated that. I need to do that soon. I will do that before the end of the season, just so we can see who's there. He's been on quite a few times, though.
I want to say at least 3 times. So.
At least 3 times. Before we bring him on, though, we do want to remind everybody that the Beam Awards is still going on right now. So if you guys want to nominate your book, if it was something that was published this year from November 2024 to November 2025, go to fourtalespodcast.com, nominate your book so we can start the process, and maybe your book can win one of our prestigious awards.
Absolutely.
All right, but enough about the Beam Awards. Let's bring in our guest, Marvin Wynn, to talk about he's not talking about comics today, which is weird. We don't,
right? It's
but
weird, man.
it's
Like,
comic adjacent.
There's comics there. Comics.
Unlike Max Steel, this is comics.
no. Now I did some research, and this is actually perfect because Max Steel was launched with a action figure and a
Mhm.
comic book at the same time. The
Okay,
comic
but
book was launched with the action figure
yes,
and
as a free
then the cartoon.
giveaway,
What?
but it started off as a TV show, and then they created the action figures, and then the comic book series came later on down the line.
I don't
That's
know
like
about
saying
that.
Power Rangers is a comic book related movie.
I
It's
don't know
not.
about that, Kyron. The research that I did said that they came at the same time, so I don't
No.
know.
Yeah, the action figures came, but it was after the TV series had already started.
I don't know, Kyron. I wasn't watching TV. I was only in church at that time. I can only anything that you say, I can only assume is AI because Google. I don't know. Marvin, welcome to
You,
the show, man. Welcome back to the
yo,
show.
you can still use Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not AI yet.
Okay, yeah,
Shh.
yeah. Welcome back, Marvin. For
Thank you.
anybody who hasn't seen you on your previous um, uh, features on the show, tell us who you are and what you're here to talk about.
Yep. So I'm Marvin Wynn. I am the writer, creator of The Edge, and the publisher of Comicsburg. Today, I am promoting the Blaine 1/18 scale action figure, which does have a comic attached to it. There is a
Ooh.
comic. So it's not just an action figure, there's a comic too.
Okay.
Man, Marvin, we were talking about this before we launched, but the social media is weird, man. It's like you've had this campaign going since August,
Yeah.
and if you weren't on this show and I wasn't hosting the show, I might not have known that you had a campaign going. And
Yeah.
I've been reading the Edge and supporting Comicsburg for a while. Like we've met in person, we got pictures together, we got photos together, and everything. And social media still doesn't want me to doesn't want to show
Yeah.
me your stuff.
It's a killer, man. Unless you slide them some money under the table,
Yeah.
they don't want to show your stuff. Like you're saying is that when you go on Facebook now, I see groups and pages of things that I have never clicked on
Yeah.
ever in my feed. I'm like, how is this in my feed? And then you click it away, and it just comes back.
Yeah.
And, it just
And
comes
then,
back.
like we were mentioning earlier, when your friends' feeds pop up, they'll be like, "Hey, do you actually want to see this?" They're like, "Yes, I really do want to see
People
this."
I actually followed. Do I want to
Yeah.
see? Yes, I do want to see this.
And used to
But
be able to use like pages and groups to counteract that. That stuff doesn't even work anymore.
Yeah.
yeah. But despite all that, your Kickstarter is doing very well. You're almost at 10,000 out of your $15,000 goal. So first of all, man, congratulations, man, just on
Thank
being
you.
able to have an action figure, because that's something that I know a lot of indie creators, a lot of creators. I'm gonna stop saying indie because I'm gonna stop saying indie because at this point, man, you're killing the game, bro. This is good quality, great quality stuff.
Yeah.
And
How many issues of the Edge do you have again?
Issue 12 is out end of this month.
That's wild. I mean, most people don't even get past issue 2, and you're talking about issue 12. That's crazy.
that's facts. That's facts. So, what made you want to decide to do action figures, and what was the process like to get one?
So in some ways, like it seems like the natural progression of kind of leveling up in the comic realm is like, where do we go next? Because the goal is to always reach out into other media. So
Mhm.
whether it's action figures, video games, trading cards, card games, things like that, you're trying to reach a different audience than the one that you currently are kind of supporting. So you want to have a crossover audience. So you want to try to take that other thing and then push it back to the comic. You want to have that kind of like that reach around, right? Where I'm selling you an action figure, but I'm really trying to get you to buy the comic. An action figure is promotion for the comic.
Yeah, he said right.
So
no, I don't. No, that's not. That's not.
That's exactly what it is. You said exactly right.
Right, should be. I like DP was talking about it earlier, and I said that even when they do those movies, the movie should take you back to the comic. Like the comic is the source. You have to always go back to the source. If you don't, you're lost. And this is why things are lost right now, because you're not pushing things back to the source. So Loose Collector is the ones that are developing and designing the figure. They used to only do customs figures, like back in the 2010s or whatever, and then they started doing their own comic lines. I mean, action figure lines. So they did like Lady Death. They did Critter for Tom Hutchinson. So I reached out to them because I was friends with those guys and said, hey, I want to do action figures. And of course, they wanted to do the 6-inch scale. So, you know, G.I. Joe Classified, Marvel Legends. But I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up on G.I. Joe. I want the 3 1/4 inch scale. So the 1/18 scale. So your G.I. Joe size. So your Tomaxes and your Zaymonts size action figures from back then. Because that's what I liked, and that's the one thing that what I created the edge is I wanted to do something of things that I liked. So that was 80s and 90s comics, so G.I. Joe, X-Men, Wildcats, things like that. So that everything sprung from there, and that's how I want to flow with it.
Okay. Now this campaign is just for Blaine, right?
No, so it's for the action figure and for a Blaine single one shot called High Stakes.
Wow.
Where Blaine is going to a casino called the Wildfire in Las Vegas because there's a gentleman there who has some information on the edge that he's trying to share to make some loot so he can go gamble some more.
Hey, you might want to. We did a little skit a couple of shows ago where we said we had we're sponsored by DraftKings, man. You might want to put that in the book, man, because they're paying everybody right now.
Man. DraftKings, if you want to reach out, our email address is fourtailspodcast@gmail.com. Just letting you know.
Shoot, no, I got friends who are doing parlays right now. Shoot. But no, man, I think it's great, man. I think it's there are a few creators that's consistent. We've had a lot of people on the show, and you know, it's great to have creators keep coming back with new projects and new things, and always you know, the Kyron and Brian J. Lambert, they both got theme songs for their you know, their properties, man, which was pretty cool.
Soundtrack too.
Yeah. So it's always cool to, you know, to be going out and doing different things. So how do you keep like a fresh take? I know you said you wanted to get things that you enjoyed as a kid, but here in 2025, you know, there's so many options. So how do you try to keep a fresh take on things?
I mean, it's all about just trying new things. So you go out and like the last Kickstarter I did coffee, we bought coffee back again. And I'm just looking for that little item that says, if that person doesn't want the comic, what can I put in their hands instead? And it's worked at cons before where someone's like, oh, I don't read comics. And I'm like, oh, do you like coffee? And the person goes, yeah, I like coffee. Then I just spring out with the coffee from underneath the table. And he's kind of trapped in that mode of, man, I didn't really want to buy anything, but man, I said I like coffee. And he's holding it in his hand. So to me, I think that diversifying the things that you offer. So we have the Scattered Nexus card game. Like that's another thing, like where it's like something else you can add, or you can bundle with the comic and say, hey, you might not like the comic, but you might like this. And if I throw the thing together and I give you a good price, or you will you be interested in this? It's hard for people to say no when you make a deal like that on the spot.
Hey, shout out to Eli Beard with the Scattered Nexus series. Saw the Lightning Wielder and Ruby from Planet Oz has been in the works with that for like the last 5 years. So shout out to Eli to, you know, keeping that up. Now, like you mentioned, you're from the 80s and 90s, growing up with action figures. I did also G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, but I did grow out of that. So I'm not that versed in how much the action figure, you know, genre is still.
You can grow out a Shadowhawk.
Is there a big demand nowadays for action figures?
Yeah. So I mean, you've seen like the move to the larger scale 6-inch figures. Toys R Us died, and they're trying to make a comeback. Like people still want these small. So he's going all the funky stuff that happens in the comic.
For our non-action figure people, what is a point of articulation? So we can make
sure the points of articulation are the points where the figure moves. So the arms, the shoulders, the neck, bending the knees, things like that. Things that you, if you remember the old Star Wars figures that had like 4 points or 5 points, you could spin the head, you could move the arms, you could move the legs, but they didn't do anything funky. So they couldn't get into those cool poses that you see them doing in comic books and cartoons and things like that.
Nice. Paige Alfred in the chat says, Marvin,
What up?
so once this gets funded, and because we know it's going to get funded, we know it is, what comes after that? Like, what are the next steps in this whole process for you?
So after that, so the goal was always to kind of share this kind of stuff with the community and to make what's called a buck. So in action figure terms, a buck is something that is a figure that you can take and make other figures off of it. So sharing parts, sharing heads and things like that. And that's one of my goals, is to say, all right, community, I can get you these action figures done at this price, because we got a thing we can work with, whether it's a male figure, female figure, or whatever, and we can reuse those parts to make your figure. So that's where all the like some of the funding needs to go into, the kind of like Comicsburg toys, where we want to do it so we can bring other people to the table and say that, all right, we can make action figures for you guys. This is what's going to cost. Try to make it reasonable pricing so that we can expand this universe and have like Ace Blade and other figures jumping around and punching people in the face, right?
Yeah, I can see a Blaine action figure being easily manipulated into an Ace Blade action figure. Like, just throw some swords and you're almost there.
Yeah, put a mask on them, change to purple, make it happen.
But I mean, that's always the goal, is can we get a Zob action figure out of it? So I mean, I've always been the guy that wants to like put the ladder down and bring everybody up onto the platform with me, and not try to pull the ladder up and say, figure out how to get up here because I got up here on my own. But that's not the kind of person I am. I want to help everybody.
Yeah, that's community, man. I think that gives people longevity too, man. So that's why we always love talking to you, man. You're always sharing knowledge, and it's great, man. It's great. So what are some of your favorite comics that are out right now? I know you've been working on the Edge for a while, but what kind of stuff are you reading right now? Are you into the DC KO? Are you doing mainstream at all right now, or are you more in the indie stuff?
I'm pretty much out of the mainstream realm of comic books, unless there's someone I know that's working on it. I mean, I want to support people that I know, like Neto Diaz is doing X-Men, so I'll pick up that at one. He was doing Daredevil, I will pick them up. But most of everything I get is coming from Kickstarters. So like you guys' books and the rest of the books, so Paige's books, like anything that comes off of Kickstarter, that's where my money's going. And it's sad to say is that I haven't been really reading anything, because I've been like, my head's been so deep into production and working Comicsburg. So I just got packages and they're over on the desk, and then they're going to make themselves into the attic. And then when I'm on winter break, finally this year, winter break, I'm going to start opening up packages. I've got stuff from like the last 4 years. I got about 200-300 Kickstarter packages that I haven't opened. So hopefully I'll get to crack those open and start reading those books that I got.
Okay, we got a question here from Paige for both of you. When can we get the Blaine Ace Blade crossover? The people want to know. I didn't know this was a thing.
See, you haven't been paying attention, because if you were paying attention, you'd have seen something already happen recently.
Right. Issue number 9 of the Edge. Ace Blade has a cameo.
That's right.
But he says he wants an actual one shot between the two of them. Like, I could see that working out somehow story wise. The two of them go on like a mission.
I mean, he's out in Vegas right now, so shoot, might have Ace Blade pop up again.
There you go. That's how it works. I'm in your town, so I got to come in. I got to parlay, right?
That's right. No, man, I think I asked Kyron. Kyron was the guest last week, and Kyron's done a lot of successful, collaborations and crossovers. We just got the issues of Panels in Paradise. My issue just came in the mail today, and this was a project that was spearheaded by Kyron. So I think crossovers are hard to do, but when they work, they're very worth it, because now this is a book that I can, sell, that I've only put, a certain amount of money in, a certain amount of sweat equity in, and we all came together and worked on it. So do you have any plans to do like legit crossovers, or is it more cameos and stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, the whole entire thing of opening up those cameos was for there to be a threat so large that the strike team from the Edge, and even the villains from the Edge, they couldn't handle it around. So other characters are going to have to come in and help in that big battle that's coming. But we've already planned and have completed a crossover with Paige's chess team. But you never know who's going to pop up and pop in, and what's going to happen, because like this a whole entire multiverse, universe, indieverse, whatever going on, that we can just like swap characters in and out if we want.
Now, you've done really well with the Edge, and you have a plethora of comics in there. But have you thought about doing anything outside of the Edge from Comicsburg, like any other series?
All right, so that's kind of the bad thing about it, is that my mind is so much into it that when I try to write something that's outside of it, it ends up part of it. So I figured out a way to say, okay, so we're doing this story, and it's about this, what happens in this year, and this is going on. Wait a minute, that perfectly connects to the Edge. It's the Edge. So I do have an idea for a series that's not related to the Edge at the moment, but I mean, it's back burner because I don't want it to kind of mix in. But there is something else that Mark and I, the artist on the Edge, is working on, that has nothing to do with the Edge currently at the moment.
But it could if you really wanted to. Right?
Man, I could probably connect the Edge to anything I want. It's like, okay, I'll walk into like Disney World and say, all right, this is all connected to the Edge now.
Oh, okay. You sound like Danny now at this point.
No, see, I'm trying to break out of that. I got Ballad of the Black Rose. I've been resisting so hard, but my artist actually put an Ace Blade cameo in the second issue without me even saying anything. So, I mean, I guess it is kind of connected now, but that's fine. That's fine with me.
Oh man. What? Yep. Okay. I'm sorry. Paige says, "Yep, Beer and Bullets 2 crossover coming." What is that?
Paige did a recent crossover it's called Beers and Bullets.
Okay.
He can give you some more information on that, because it's not in my head right now, so I can't remember which characters are involved in that.
Okay. The question is, yes, it's all connected to the Edge.
Right. Well, everything's on the Edge, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
It does feel like the whole world is on the edge right now. It really does.
Right, but I mean, that's why we're here. We're trying to give people some levity and some entertainment in this upside down nonsense that we're currently involved in. But I mean, we only can do so much.
Yeah, and action figures are great for that. It gives you that ability to let your mind go free and enjoy it.
Right, and I mean, that's one of the things about like the Edge, is that it's something that is familiar, but it's something that's different. And like we do the powers differently. So we say that I don't see how someone can shoot laser beams from their eyes and not damage their eyes at all. I mean, I don't think that should work like that. And I don't think like building up energy in your body and releasing it is a good thing at any time for anyone. Like, or shooting lasers from your hands, like how does that shouldn't work without harming something.
Right. I want to go back to what somebody just said a minute ago, though. I think at the beginning of the year, I had made this TikTok about how important it is to keep creating, like, especially like as the year goes on, it seems like things are getting worse and worse. But I've been alive long enough to know that it's felt like that in multiple years. It's felt like that at multiple times in my life, where it's the worst it's ever been. And I think that it's very important to keep making things that people can enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can make an action figure from your characters and you got 1,000 people that can enjoy that, that's a good thing, man. That is a good thing. That is a worthwhile thing to do in the world right now. And
right, I think that it's a testament, and it's something as what creators can bring to the table. and they can give you those people those escapes that they need from reality, and something that they can like engross themselves into. Because there's a lot of times when I talk to people and they say that, oh, you're approachable and I can talk to you. I don't feel like I can do that with other people. And that's what we bring. That's what the indie community brings, is that personal touch, that willingness to listen, that willingness to be a face, and not just some invisible entity that's just churning something out and putting it onto a shelf.
Exactly.
How important is it for, as indie creators, for us to actually be the representative of our books and not just the books themselves? Like, how important is that?
I think in some cases that the person is kind of buying your story over the story in the book. I mean, I think that personal connection helps sell the product, and I think you get a lot more sales, especially at conventions and things like that, if you're personable. Many a times you'll be at a show and you'll see a person sitting at their table with their head down, not paying attention to nothing that's going on. As people walk past their table, like, people aren't just going to stop just because they're like, you're not Jim Lee, you're not Cliff Kermont. No one is coming to see you. So you have to be a salesman. You got to switch that hat to salesman pretty much the whole day, and be personable, and that person will connect to you and then connect to your product.
Yeah, I agree. I found um, I used to not tell people that I was a veteran, and that um, because I didn't want to kind of use that to sell the comics, but
Mhm.
because it's literally part of the creation of Ace Blade. Like, I started writing Ace Blade when I was in Iraq. Like, I
Mhm.
wrote the first 25 chapter novel that was ever published on from about Ace Blade while I was serving with the military. So and then when I tell people that, I can always, when I get to that part of the story, I can always like see people like, oh shoot, this guy's a veteran. I can support a veteran. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, oh, I can support a veteran. Shoot, even if I don't like the comic, I feel like I'm doing the right thing by supporting this content.
Right.
So
And it, again, that's the personable part about that is that they don't know you from anybody. Like, you're just a faceless, nameless person until they talk to you. Then you have a name. Then you exist now. Now you exist to that person. And if they are willing to buy one book, maybe later on they'll buy another and another, or they'll know you'll be at that show. Oh, I'm going to go see Danny. Danny's going to be here, so I want to get whatever he's got next. What you got new? And that's all it takes sometimes. And you'll build a fan for life, and that's all we need. Like, most of us need 500 loyal fans, and we're good.
right, that's right. I was reading this book about marketing or viral. Gosh, I need to find that book, because that's one of the things that it talked about. If you get, some core fans, if you get a few core fans, you're good to go. And
Mhm.
I think that's something that we all, aspire to, for sure.
How many is
Um,
a core group of fans that we need, though?
well, it depends on what you're trying to do. I think it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to sell comic books, you need, maybe you need 100 fans. You need 100 fans that'll, consistently buy your stuff. But if you're trying to make movies and video games and stuff like that, you might need might need a little more. Might need a little more, but
Right.
it all starts with one. You get that one
Mhm.
fan, and then one fan becomes two, and then two becomes 10, and 10 becomes 100. So
Right.
that consistency will get us there for sure.
And I mean, that was one of the good feelings about doing Heroes Con, is that you start being around those people that you only talk about to on YouTube and things like that,
Hmm.
and they're coming up at their table and they go, oh, there's Marvin, there's the man, and things like that. So I mean, it's a good feeling. And then you got people like, did you like from San Diego coming in to that show and meeting you and stuff like that. I love it. It's a good feeling to know that someone out there is thinking about, man.
All right, well, it's time for my favorite part of the show. Um, quick takes. This is gonna be a little different one, but
Okay.
Kyron, I'm ready when you are,
Uh, I,
or no.
I thought I was ready, but I'm not ready. You gotta give me like 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting on Kyron to get ready, um,
All right, never mind. I'm ready.
okay. So, see, there you go. You thought you had it all set up, then you messed it up again. No. For anybody who hasn't seen the show, Quick Takes is a rapid Q&A session where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest secrets from the internet. Well, you know that we're not doing that because you've been on the show plenty of times.
Right.
But this time we're gonna ask you some deeper questions than we normally
Okay.
do. Usually it's just surface level stuff.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna ask you more personal stuff this time, Marvin.
Okay.
So
Wait, are you
question
gonna
number
ask him
one.
about his underwear again? Because that was weird last time. Don't do
Yes,
that again.
I am.
Oh, all right.
The thongs. Question number one. You're
Like
one
when
of
the
the
question
people,
goes.
Marvin.
Like that question go.
In all this time that I've been in comics, me and Kyron were talking about this. There's not a lot of people who are good at the creative part and the business part.
Mhm.
So in 45 seconds, tell us what's kind of the most important thing that you wish indie creators would know about the business of comics.
So not only having an audience, but knowing your audience. So you need to know what you're putting out there, because if you don't know what you're putting out there, you can't sell it. If you can't sell your product, you can't make any money off of it, and that dooms that second issue. So I would suggest that anyone in this realm get with someone who knows business or take a class, because you need to know how to not only market, but it's the hustle too. It's the constant hustle every day, trying to find that hook and trying to find that new person that's going to want to part with their hard-earned cash and hand it to you instead of buying the coffee.
Absolutely,
Or
absolutely.
they could buy your coffee too. I mean,
There you go. So then you have coffee. See, you get
There
it.
you
You
go.
get it.
Now you got energy to keep creating. Okay. Question number two. In all this time that you've been making comics, I've been talking to creators about their mental health and their joy in making comics. So I want to know, what's the most fun you've had as part of creating comics in all this time you've been making comics.
So anytime I get a package in the mail that has books in it is one of the greatest feelings still to me. Even though I've had that feeling multiple times over the years, it still is a good feeling to have that box sitting on your stoop, your step in front of your door, and you open it up and you pull the book out and you say, "I did that. I did this."
I like it.
And it took a lot of help to do it, but this is something that came out of my brain, and you made it happen. And I mean, I think that that's where we have to kind of throttle back on a lot of stuff and think of that we did this. You did do it. You accomplished part one of the whole process, because a lot of people don't even get to part one.
That's facts. That's facts. Yep. Got to keep enjoying that. The it's not a little thing, but keep enjoying those things, man. Question number three. Now, on the other end of that, I want to know, what is your greatest fear in comics? What is it that scares you about comics?
Greatest fear in comics is not being able to do it anymore. I mean, we're not going to be young. You can't be young forever. And eventually, some of those things that you take for granted right now, your brain, your hands, your feet, your legs, your eyesight, could leave you. And then, like, you're kind of like sitting there, like, oh, I can't make comics anymore. And that day would be like grating to me, of like, oh man, now I have to either find someone else to do it, or it dies, right? It's the end of it. It doesn't go any further from there.
Yeah, I feel you on that for sure. Okay. Question number four. Now, you talked a little bit earlier about, building a community and making it so that other creators can come to you and learn things. I want to know what's on the other side of that, even farther out, like as far as you can think. If you get to do comics and literally do anything that you want, what is beyond the comics for you? What is the farthest that you can go in comics? What is the greatest thing that you think that you can achieve?
I think education, and that's one of the things that we are working on is going into schools and doing classes on comic creation, the business of comics, what the whole entire process is. We found that as we've done these kind of talks at conventions and stuff, no one has a clue outside of the realm that knows how do I make a comic book, and like everyone, they think it's one thing and it's another. When you tell them, oh, put aside 25 grand right now just to get started, and you get oohs and ahs out of the audience, like, what do you mean? What? It costs money to make comics?
You mean it's not free to do this?
Right? So yeah, education is where I want to take this thing.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, number 5. We always do a top 5 list for the 5th question.
Mhm.
And this week, I want to know who do you think are the top 5 Marvins? And you can put yourself in the list, but who are the top? There's some famous Marvins. Who, in your opinion, are the top 5 Marvins?
That's Marvin Gaye,
Marvin Gaye. Gotta have Marvin Gaye for sure.
Marvin Hagler,
Okay. All right.
Marvin from Super Friends.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Roblox's real name from G.I. Joe, his first name is Marvin.
Okay.
And I'll put myself last because I can't think of anybody Marvins at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I would have said
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison's a good
Oh
one.
yeah, Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
I'll make him 5A. Marvin Harrison 5A.
No, it's too late. It's too late.
Nope.
Um,
You lost out, Marvin Harrison. You're not as good as Marvin Wynn now.
There you go.
what
Exactly.
Marvin the Martian? Like,
Yeah.
Marvin the Martian.
What did he do? He blew himself up all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's true.
Well, I appreciate you doing that for us, Marvin. This week, Quick Takes is brought to you by who's Quick Takes brought to you by this week? By Gemini Comic Supply. If you use the promo code AceBlade at checkout, you'll get 10% off your entire order. Back to you, Kyron.
This is like Gemini is like Marvin Harrison, just completely forgotten every week.
Well, I mean, he's been replaced by Junior, so
Junior not doing well, so he's not replaced by anybody at this point.
I think it takes a lot of time with this because you notice that you had a lot like back in the 2000s. You had a lot of receivers who didn't drop passes. Like Marvin Harrison was those guys that didn't drop passes. You see a lot of drop passes by quality receivers now. You're kind of wondering, are they thinking about the dance before they make the catch? Because I don't get it sometimes. Like I saw like Jamar Chase last night dropped 2 passes. I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell is he? What is his on the ground? DK Metcalf.
But yeah, I think the drops that I saw was he was already turning. Like he's already, but he did catch like 15 balls or something like that. So
he snagged 16 on I think 23 targets. But I don't think I've ever saw Marvin Harrison drop a pass.
I remember him dropping a couple, but they were very few.
Yeah, but I mean, Jerry Rice had the drops in his rookie year too. So
we don't talk about Jerry Rice dropping nothing. So Marvin Wynn, we want to make sure everybody follows you. We know everybody's going to go to the Kickstarter and help fund that, but where else can people follow you online?
Oh, so comicsburg.com right there. And theedgecomic.com. So you can get to all the socials from either one of those websites.
Okay. Danny, where can people check you out?
If you want to find me, the best place to go is our website, fourthwallpros.com. If you want to find me on social media, you can find me at the AceBlade on all social media sites. Kyron, where can people find you?
The only place I need you guys to find me right now is starcorecomic.com. That is the only spot I need y'all to go. Back it. And I know I'm sounding very desperate. I'm almost at 25% within the first week, so I'm not doing bad, but I would like for you guys to help fund this as quickly as possible. So go to starcorecomic.com. Danny, have you lettered 5 pages today?
5? Oh,
3 at least.
I'm going to finish Black Rose today, so
Okay.
I'm gonna get these last 2 done.
All right.
And yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right.
But I just came from the gym and my arms are hurting. So
Okay. All right. Well, everybody join us next week. It's Fortnite Friday next week.
yeah,
Because we are taking the 31st off because it's Halloween. So it's Fortnite Friday next week. So join us to watch Danny and I suck at playing Fortnite because apparently I am the bad partner on this because Danny won with Brian. So watch me suck while Danny, gets mad.
I haven't played
I-
since the last time we did Fortnite Friday. So
So could I suggest like a Destiny 2 thing? Because I'm pretty sure I got you both on PlayStation.
This man won't play anything but Fortnite. I've suggested Overwatch. I've suggested Marvel Rivals. I've suggested Call of Duty.
I tried Rivals. I just don't like it. And I used to love Call of Duty, but the people are just too good now. Like I just
that 13-year-old
respawn and die instantly.
Well, I mean, I just normally play versus enemies on Destiny 2, so there's no having to go up against someone who's been playing the game for the last 8 years nonstop.
Yeah, we'll see. But next week, Fortnite Friday. Until then, though, everybody, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
Thank you.